Humans, welcome back to the Culture Guys channel. I am your host, Mike Nix, and the Herald of the Gods. And I just finished episode 4 of The Penguin. And man, this was a crazy episode. Remember I said in the last episode, the last video, that I loved how they were focusing on Vic and even Sophia. This episode, they dove like way deeper into her backstory, man. So starts out, well, basically, it turns out that she was framed for the murders of those 7 women. You know, they kept mentioning throughout the series so far, the first 3 episodes, that, you know, she murdered 7 women. So basically, when she was younger and her dad was still alive, there was a bunch of murders in Gotham. And 7 women, they died by strangulation or they got hung. And so the people, one of the journalists, I guess, out there was trying to get the scoop on him. All the signs and all the evidence was pointing back to the Falcone family. Now, they flash back to when Carmine Falcone was still alive. And this is before Sophia got locked up and shit. So they're going, showing how she was, social butterfly. Her dad was, the most feared man in Gotham, but he's got connections everywhere and shit. And Sophia and Oz were like this. They were super tight. And so, but he was their driver. He was the Falcone's driver. So he drove Sophia, he drove whoever around, right? So this is before he got started trapping and shit. And Sophia walks into her mom's bedroom when she was like 9 years old, and her mom is hanging from the ceiling. And so her dad comes in, Carmine Falcone comes in, and is like, oh no, shit, you wasn't supposed to see that, So she gets older, and when the journalist comes back around, starts, poking her nose into the Falcone's business, because it looks like that they might have had something to do with all these women that have been murdered. Sophia meets up with the journalist, and then the journalist is like, I got these pictures and shit, and it's not looking good. So like either your dad is involved or something. And she's like, man, I don't know shit. Your boy Oz, because being the loyal, man that he is to the Falcone family, he lets Carmine know. Well, Carmine gets pissed that his daughter Sophia talked to a journalist. Basically, you're a crime family, you can't let nobody in your business. Family, police, unless you're paying them, they gotta stay out of that shit, So he got pissed. And what he ended up doing was, Sophia confronted Carmine. He got pissed and he was like, nah, man, like, we gotta get you up out of here. So the loyalty in the Carmine family is like, there is none. It's like, they're this mobster family that, how they say there's no honor amongst thieves. That's basically what this family is, man. They ready to slit each other's throat and stab each other in the back in a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? Just to not go down or to make money. So he basically pins all those crimes on his daughter, saying that she did it. Clearly, because he's powerful, he, paid off the judge, he paid off the police, he paid off investigators, he paid off reporters, he paid off everybody. Has her admitted to Arkham Asylum. So now she's at Arkham. They doing fucking electroshock therapy on her and shit. They letting one of the girls in there, they let her off her because everybody's shackled together, and they let one girl out of her handcuffs and shit and beat the shit out of Sophia. So now she going through it. She thought she was only gonna be there for like 6 months, right? Nobody's coming to check up on her except her brother, Alberto. But you remember Alberto was killed by Oz in the very first episode. So everybody forgot about her. She ends up doing her 10 years, right? Turns out her family, Carmine probably did this, and probably the family had a lot to do with it too, because like I said, it's all like a Game of Thrones thing. Everybody's trying to position themselves to be the head of the Falcone family, because the head of the Falcone family is a powerful seat. Everybody in the family, Carmine got everybody in the family to sign affidavits basically saying, yep, Sophia's crazy. The bitch used to cut up animals and shit on some Michael Myers shit when she was a kid. She beat puppies to death and all kind of weird shit. And she's crazy and she deserves to be in Arkham. And that's why she did that 10-year stint. So she gets out. When she gets out, she finally confronts the family. You know what I'm saying? Now, keep in mind, Luca, the brother of Carmine, he's in charge. But their cousin, Johnny Vitti, Sophia's cousin, is like an asshole to Sophia, right? She basically was like, yo, I mean, he told her basically, yo, man, you might want to just leave Gotham, like, for real. Like, just get out of here. Otherwise, I'm gonna make it hot for you for real. Like, it's gonna be real hard for you to move around if you stay. And she was like, man, fuck that shit. So they have this little dinner. Of course, they think she's gone. Like, they think she's about to pack her shit up and get the fuck up out of there, right? She shows up at the dinner. Mind you, this is present day now. So she shows up at the dinner, you know, after she done did her 10 years and shit. All the family, everybody that, you know, pretty much, not blackmailed her, but, you know, said that she was crazy and she deserved to stay locked up in Arkham and pin that crime on her, all those 7 crimes on her. Everybody's here sitting at the table, except the dad, of course, because the dad's dead. But anyway, she pops in. She sits down. It's awkward, uncomfortable and shit. She making faces with the kid and all that. And then she ends up, this episode was crazy, man. She ends up killing everybody in the house, basically. She gets the little girl. Now, it's like she has a heart, of course, you know what I'm saying? So, like, there's a little girl. I think she's her niece. She takes her outside. No, not her niece. It couldn't have been her niece. I think it's like her cousin's daughter. But obviously, she's a little kid. She don't know nothing. She's probably like 7, 8 years old. So she takes her outside and has like a little sleepover outside, you know, under the stars in the backyard. And then they show her going back inside, and she has a gas mask on. This is early in the morning, so she didn't had this little, you know, pitch the tent and all that, or whatever it was. She was outside with the little girl, you know, like, oh, we're gonna sleep outside tonight. You know, we just gonna chill out. Now I'm thinking, oh, you know, she gonna blow the house up or some shit. No. She goes back inside with the gas mask on. She's stepping over bodies, goes down in the basement, turns off the gas, takes the little pipe, throws it out, caps all the gas things. So basically, she let the carbon monoxide and gas flow through the entire house overnight while everybody slept. And if you know anything about carbon monoxide, it's a silent killer. That shit kills you when you sleep. You can't smell it, you can't detect it, no nothing. So she goes upstairs, everybody's laid out. And in the last scene, they show her, I think she purposefully kept her cousin Johnny Vitti's room from being, you know, from the gas fumes getting in there, because she goes into his room. He's the only one alive. And then she has the gun, and she basically like, yo, wake up, because we got to talk. You know what I'm saying? And the episode ends right there. Now, one of the cool little Easter eggs that's in this, or cameo appearances, is Magpie. Now, Magpie, I don't know too much about. I don't know when she was introduced into like Gotham as far like one of the villains and shit, but I know the bitch is crazy. And I know the first time I ever saw her was Beware the Batman. I don't even know how many years ago that was. It might have been like a couple of years ago. But anyway, that was the first time I ever seen Magpie in the show. She got like long claws. She's obsessed with birds. She's like Catwoman, but bird lady. Just imagine if Catwoman just was obsessed with birds. That's basically what Magpie is. So, but Sophia, who never murdered anybody in her life, after going through all that electroshock therapy and her family turning her back on her and, you know, framing her for the 7 murders and shit, she just snaps. And Magpie's trying to be a friend when they locked up, and she just had enough, man. And she just beats this bitch head. Just smashes her head, blood's everywhere and shit. That was a shock to me, because I thought Magpie was actually gonna be a future villain later on, you know, but nah, that bitch is gone. So that's pretty much it for episode 4 of The Penguin. A really good episode, a few surprises. And once again, I'm glad that they're focusing on Sophia and some of the other characters too, not just Oz, to kind of build that up. And they have some Easter eggs, some cameos and shit like that here and there. Anyway, loved it. Hope to see y'all in the next episode. Y'all better stay tuned, and you better pull up, and don't do it for me, do it for the God.